things. News coverage is already out there with their anti-black racism. They've been doing it for years. And so, we gotta laugh at these folks at this point. You know what I'm saying? We gotta laugh at these folks because we know what it is. And she has pictures of herself in blackface. So I mean, it's just the hypocrisy for me with both of these people. I wonder if we could say black anti-Semitism, anti-blackism. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the same thing. It's not. Well, actually, it's not the same thing because that shit is made up. But we are suffering in real time anti-black racism. So I just wanted to speak on that when you brought her up. And you said they got a lot of attraction.
Oh yeah, man. That post, man. That thing in terms of the amount of people, like it's got well over 1,000 and some retweets and about 5,000 likes and stuff like that. Like constant comments coming in. Like people just been talking about that post. Like I'm like, oh Lord, like I didn't know it was gonna pick up that kind of traction. I think in terms of the actual the actual amount of people that have seen it, man, it's in the thousands. It's up there. Like it gained a lot of it gained in terms of the impressions. I think that the last I looked at it, that post has got something like 200,000 impressions and stuff. So yeah, it's gained a lot of.
Respond to it, or has she responded to this?
No, she hasn't responded to it yet. So I think DJ say she blocked him. So.
Oh really? Who died? You was giving you was R.I.P. and a brother. Who died?
Yeah, it was one of Brother McCool's one of his people up there that and I just saw the post. I was kind of onto it and not onto it, but I saw and Brother McCool, go ahead and let everybody know who passed away, bro.
Hey, how y'all doing? Thanks, bro. It was young, pretty young local artist here in Baltimore. His name is Kyrie Coleon. He suffered from mental illness, and just like Baltimore, murder police is known for, coming to cause that actually should warrant medical help, and they come to murder innocent mental health victims. Some who need impairment, might be off on their meds or something like that, and instead of sending, the correct, maybe some medical help or something like that, they send these murder police, and it just murdered my brother. He complied to what they said. They made him get on the ground. He had a knife, and he was arguing with the young lady. So, some of us don't make the best decisions, but he wasn't deserving of the 14 bullets he got in his back while laying on the ground on his ground. And it's just one of these sick things that happen in Baltimore more than often. And the third victim in my family had died from the hands of Baltimore murder police. And I call them murder police. They all against me. It's no good one if you ain't getting rid of the bad ones. So, yeah, I just had to give a shout out. It happened late last night, and unfortunately, I found out this morning, and it's crazy because I was just talking to brother about coming down to the rally for reparations, and he couldn't make it for that for some strange reason. But it's I just wanted to put that out there. It's definitely an environmental racism issue as well as a mental health issue. A lot of, and this is not just happening in Baltimore, it's happening in Philly, it's happening in a lot of places all around the United States. But it's something that we got to, get hand on, and one of those things that should be pushed under our anti-black hate bill that we're going to make them, get in place. So that was what the details of that was.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go ahead, y'all, and as people come in, they can go ahead and they can catch up with what's going on and whatnot. I want to just go ahead and get the room started. So, for those that missed, we'll go ahead and we'll keep them up. I'm gonna go because the environmental the one about this place called Gordon Plaza in New Orleans. It's a pretty lengthy article. I don't know if I'm going to read it all, but I want to cover this short article real quick about Joe Biden. He was hanging out with his boy Reverend Al Sharpton and on Sharpton's podcast. I haven't listened to it, but we had some of the article on Newstoter. So I just want to go ahead because apparently they was hanging out, they was kicking it or whatever, shooting a you know what, and this is just exactly what President Joe Biden told Reverend Al Sharpton. So we're gonna lead it off with this one right here. So our people they come in, they can hear this part right here. But it says Biden tells Sharpton how he's a liver for Black America. President Biden sat down for a one-on-one interview with Reverend Al Sharpton Sunday to tell Black Americans how the Biden-Harris administration has delivered for them in less than 2 years in office. The president's message comes just days before the 2022 midterm elections, which are viewed as a referendum on the safety of democracy in the United States. An audio of Biden's interview was played last night on Reverend Sharpton's Politics Nation at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on MSNBC. It will re-air on Monday's episode of Keeping It Real with Reverend Al Sharpton. The president highlighted some of the major actions taken by the Biden-Harris administration since taking office in January 2021. Those include the May 2022 executive order on accountability for federal law enforcement, which Reverend Al Sharpton advocated for in the wake of the murder of George Floyd nearly 2 years earlier. The National Action Network also advocated for recent decisions on student debt loan and pardoning federal charges for simple marijuana possession. So that's all that he says that he's done. I mean, like that, he acts like it's an entire laundry list of stuff that he's actually done. So I really, the simple fact that he's saying this and that is just, kind of astounding to me. Like, wow, I mean, that's not a whole hell of a lot to brag about. I mean, you haven't, and there's nothing in that. There's not one thing in there that you can say that you have exclusively done for Black people. The George Floyd Act is still unsigned. I know people say, well, it's up to the Republicans and in the House and the Senate to do this. There's nothing. The student debt loan, that's not for Black people, and neither is a simple marijuana possession that we had in the space that we said that the people that they were actually talking about that this was going to benefit, all of these people were already out of jail. So all of this stuff that he's talking about in less than 2 years that the Biden administration has done for Black Americans, and the fact that, Al Sharpton is sitting up here co-signing this stuff right here, kind of lets you know why people don't take MSNBC serious. They don't take these older Democrats serious. And Al Sharpton, the cachet that he had built up with Black people back in the 80s and even the early 90s, man, that cachet done ran dry like a well in the Sahara Desert. So all this stuff that he's talking about that they've done for Black people and this and that. Now, you have done stuff for immigrants. You have done stuff for Asians. You have done stuff for Ukraine. You have done many other things for different people. But in terms of what you've done for Black people in 2 years that you've been in office, all these executive orders that you haven't hesitated to sign and this and that, not one of them was specifically for Black people. So all this stuff that you're talking about, you done did for Black people. Maybe I missed that. I don't even know where that was at. I'm gonna get to you, Black Native, and then I'm gonna get to you, Professor.
If I was Al Sharpton, I would have said, am I being punked? Like, where's Ashton Kutcher? Is he going to pop from behind my couch? Because, I mean, the list, where's the list? Because he didn't even pass, they haven't even passed the bill as far as with the student loan debt, which affects everybody who has student loan debt. The marijuana, basically more white people are on drugs than Black people. And speaking about marijuana, you notice when it was illegal, we had more access to, selling it. But now that it's legal, they've cut us out of that to when they legalized marijuana. So we can't even, get a profit and make money the legal way. So, they did that. That's what they did when they did with the liquor and the lotteries. This is what they do. So I'm waiting for this list, because I haven't heard anything that he's done for Black Americans. What he has done affects everybody. It's not just us. See, I would have cursed his ass out. See, Al Sharpton sits there and co-signs that bullshit, and then they wonder why we don't respect him. So that's all I have to say on that.
I appreciate that, sister, and I agree with you 100%. Whenever they do something for everybody, it's always that it's benefiting black. Like they always find a way to. Everybody's going to benefit from it, but somehow they find a way to go ahead and pigeon toe us into that conversation as well. Like God, for sake, don't let it be something about criminal justice like that. That's for black people. Like it's always when it's something like criminal justice or something like that. You know, I haven't seen one thing that he specifically did for black people. Like I said, he signed bills for Ukraine, executive decisions. He's done this, he's done that for everybody else. But when it comes to black people, you know, he hasn't done one thing. He signed bills for the anti-Asian and the Pacific and this and that. They went ahead and they gave Asians stuff for the COVID bill and this and that or whatever. Like I say, they still got to work out this thing with the black farmers. The black farmers still need their money. So we still trying to see exactly when the black farmers need their money, and it doesn't need to be split up and divvied up with everybody else, man. They were farming this stuff before you had all these other groups coming to this country. So before they can start getting to this and that, you got to show me exclusively what you've done for black people. Professor, and then Brother McCoo. Go ahead, Professor.
Yeah, thank you, Newstoter. And just want to say peace, power, and reparation to everybody in the space. Brother Moo, man, condolences to you. And we're going to get these reparations, everybody, but we're going to be fighting for a while to try to get what was due to us. Joe Biden has not done a damn thing for Black America. And I, for one, regret that I put a vote for this punk because he spoke on the George Floyd Reform Act. He spoke on the student loan debt situation, which was two of the reasons why I went to the polls for the motherfucker, because I thought that's what he really was going to be about, especially when it came to the George Floyd Police Reform Act. But as we see, that got tabled. And it has not been spoken about since. I don't think they even tried to address that issue, along with what else we trying to get passed, which is the anti-Black hate crime bill. Nobody's talking about it. Anything related to Black America, they are not trying to address. They just keep pushing it to the side, but they want us to go to these polls to vote for the Democrats. And we are tired of them doing these dancing videos, making a mockery out of this whole damn process, trying to get us to these polls. They got Stacey Abrams sitting up in videos dancing. They got Kerry Washington in the videos with Stacey Abrams dancing. They got this, whatever, Trina and what was the dude's name? Santina or whatever, up in videos dancing. These folks are playing with us, and we as Black America are tired of this shit. We're tired of dealing with the ignorant buffoonery that's being sent our way. Joe Biden is not doing shit for us. Now, you got 90% of the voting bloc for the Democrats that is Black. And they have not done one damn thing for us. I don't know what is the deal with Joe Biden. He must be delusional. And that coon up there, Reverend Al Sharpton, has sold us out, along with the rest of these Black leaders. They being paid off to get up there and want you to still go to the polls and vote Democrat. I want to know, will Black America really go to the polls tomorrow? Because tomorrow is the big day. Now, I will be at the polls, but I'm not voting Democrat. But I just want to know how many of our people are going to go to them polls tomorrow and just going to say, I'm going to vote straight Democrat. And I just know a lot of the older Black Americans are going to do it. I really believe that, y'all. Even though a lot of people have talked to the older Black Americans about stepping away from the Democrat, many of them still going to go to the polls to vote. The reason why I know this, y'all, because I have talked to my own family members that are in their 70s, upper 60s, 70s, some in their 80s, and they say they just can't vote for the Republicans. They got to go vote for the Democrats. And they said, Democrats, you got a better chance with them than you do with these damn Republicans. You already know the Republicans are not down with us. They're racist, and we hate Trump. This is what I get told by my loved ones. So, unfortunately, y'all, I think they're going to still get out there and vote for these Democrats no matter what. But For the rest of us that have learned better, I believe that we'll go and vote on policies. Policies only. That's what it's all about at this point in time. Policies. And I land my plane there. Thank you, Newstoter. DJ, man, it's good to see you, brother. And I was trying to see. I thought I saw. I see Sister Tony down there. Good to see her. I had to give a shout out to her. And thank you again, Newstoter.
Oh yeah, and y'all trust me, we just leading off with this story here about Joe Biden, because Joe Biden talk about he's delivering for Black Americans, but there's one of this other story we got to get to about the environment of racism, and I just want to hear everybody's opinion on that. I'm gonna go ahead and let people go ahead and dig in on Joe Biden. And as always, you guys know we move back and forth. Even though we start a topic, you can always go back. I see Secret Sister up in the spot, Tony is up in the spot, Originals up in the spot. So we're gonna cover some hard hitting stuff tonight. And like I say, man, this environmental racism, it's real. It's not getting the we talk about it periodically. We talk about the Flints and we talk about the Jackson, Mississippi's and stuff like that. But man, we gotta start putting more heat on this situation. I went ahead in the Jumbotron and I put the actual the two articles, the one about Joe Biden and Reverend Al Sharpton kicking and whatnot, and this nonsense. He talking about what he's delivered for Black people in 2 years. I also put the one about Gordon Plaza down there in New Orleans, and I'm going to touch that subject up in a second. I'm going to let everybody get their hands up, kind of go in on this Joe Biden thing too. But man, when you hear this story here, man, you talk about heartbreaking, and you talking about just gut wrenching to hear this, and to know that this type of thing is going on all throughout the nation, in all our Black neighborhoods and stuff. We talk about infrastructure building and stuff. We need to start in the Black communities and stuff too, because man, it's no telling what they got laying next to us and whatnot. So we gonna go in, man, tonight. Let me give a shout out. We're gonna go to Brother McCool, Clarence, and then we're gonna get to Original. Let me give a shout out to Brother McCool for his contribution on Cash App. So Brother McCool, go ahead and unmute your mic.
I'm gonna tell you, I really didn't understand why people would vote for Biden when they did. I mean, he is a strong Thurman baby. You know what I mean? This man was taught and was groomed by the most treacherous racist that has ever lived, and he was in office for the longest. Strong Thurman. So I've never really trusted Joe Biden. He didn't get my vote. I didn't vote for Obama. I would tell you, I've always had a disdain and always was suspicious about every white person that I've ever seen in my life and ever encountered. So Joe Biden and Al Sharpton's inappropriate behavior. I mean, Al Sharpton has been acting the same, whether he's fat or skinny. So even a fat Al Sharpton was inappropriate as well, to tell the truth. But we look at these guys, and these guys are the same dudes that were agents, that were COINTELPRO, that had hand in murdering, King and everybody else, Malcolm and all. You know what I'm saying? I feel like all these snitches, they gonna get theirs real soon. And I posted two old videos that I posted a while back that actually went viral, a couple of them, about this radiation, and that ties into this when Biden took over office, actually, it started in Obama. Obama started putting these things around urban neighborhoods called shot spotters, and what these things do is they supposed to pinpoint gunshots when they're fired. Now these things let off real dangerous amounts of radiation, RF radiation, and all types of radiation. And they started doing this around 2020 in Baltimore, DC as well. Actually, did it down in Florida where you were told it, but they started tearing them down. You know what I'm saying? Dudes in the neighborhoods down there where you at started tearing them down because they knew they was dangerous. So it's just stuff like this that's being set up against us on this front, on every front, and it's crazy because we're having to fight so many different battles at once. So it's kind of like swinging wildly, but it's just coming from so many different angles, and I'm glad that you had this space tonight because it's going to hit on a lot of these different topics and a lot of these things that, especially stupid ass Sarah Silverman doing. All these things are distractions to keep us away from, to keep our minds off of the most deadliest shit that they doing to us. You know what I'm saying? All this shit with Kyrie, I stand with Kyrie, but all this shit with Kyrie, Kanye, all these shit distractions when they really pushing it warfare on us. You know what I'm saying? With this, the environmental racism, pushing that shit in our food real heavy, especially with the shot. You know what I'm saying? They definitely trying to make everybody take a Hennessy shot or a goddamn Bacardi shot. So, I mean, we got it on every front, and we just gotta, continue to stay focused. And I want to shout out social too. Everybody get up on that social website, Black, got Black media website, and soon they're gonna have spaces too, so we can get the hell up off this Twitter.
Yeah, you ain't lying. They can kiss my ass. Once social get they I still be on Twitter too. I'm versatile, but I'm gonna show be when they get that space running up over there. I'm gonna show be dropping some spaces over there as well too. So Twitter and the rest of these social media sites can kiss my ass. To be honest, like they all unban me. I know they shadow banning my content and whatnot. Know I should have more followers and stuff like that. So I know exactly the little game they be playing and whatnot. They definitely don't want to see this black content get pushed out there. So yeah, they can all kiss my ass as far as I'm concerned. We're gonna go ahead.
I ain't mean to cut you off, bro, but about social, man, are they gonna do? I think I saw somewhere they're gonna try to do some. I guess maybe some training on that, or how we all can get on there, or something like that. Is that what I saw?
Social, holler at DJ in the background because social's not hard to. It's not hard to use at all. I mean, it's pretty easy. So I mean, it's nothing really hard at all. Brother McCoo could tell you that. DJ, Secret Sister, we all on that. So it's not hard to use at all, man. Like I was pretty busy today, so I haven't really dropped that much content on Twitter or social or Facebook or any of them because I've been pretty busy, whatever. So I didn't put out the normal 20, 25, 30 articles that I normally put out today because I have been just ripping and running all day and whatnot. But it's not that hard to run, and we can definitely holler at you in the back channel. But it's nothing hard at all to run at all, so we can definitely do that.
All right.
Let me get to and then Brother McCoo, I don't know if I shouted you out, but thank you for the cash out, brother. I appreciate that. Like I say, man, we got the major stories, man. This environmental racism. I want everybody that's got their hands up. We're gonna go ahead and let you guys go ahead, and then I want to hit that story too because it's like I say, it needs to be said. It needs to be heard. Y'all need to hear exactly what's going on in these black communities from back in the day to even now. So let me go ahead and get to we're gonna go to Clarence. We're gonna go to Original. Then we're gonna go to Secret Sister.
Hey, what's up, Newstoter? Peace of the room. Thank you for this wonderful space and this topic. I don't have much to say about Al Sharpton. I think we all know who he is and where we stand with him and how he has sold our community up a river. But when it comes to Joe Biden, I just really think, again, I didn't vote for Joe Biden. I didn't fall for it. There's plenty of evidence in his past 40 years in office as to who he was. So I just don't know why people thought he would be somehow differently after the 40 years of what he showed us and what the brother said earlier about Joe Biden being trained by Robert Byrd and Strom Thurmond, who were well-known KKK wizards, right? So we know what Joe Biden is. We know how he was trained. We know his mindset. We know his involvement with the crime bills and how they decimated the black community. We know his talk about if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. We know his talk about calling black people super predators and things of that nature, right? But I'm so proud of black people because we have to look at the numbers of this midterm election. And so most states have early voting. So I think early voting is already open, so we can go look at the turnout. We don't know who they voted for, but we can look at the turnout. And across the country, black voter turnout is down from 2018, from the last midterm election, right? Particularly, I want to take you to a city like Houston, where there are 4 million people, a good number of black people there, and black voter turnout in Houston is down 25% from 2018. 25%.
Wow, it's down 25%?
Yes, sir. 25%
Wow.
in the early voting returns. And then not just black voters, but young voters ages between 18 and 35, turnout is down 35%. Right? So what that says to me is that it doesn't matter how many lies Joe Biden sits on TV and lies about and talk about what he's done for the black community. Right? He can just make up stuff. He said we're not in a recession, but we are. He says that he's created a historical number of jobs, but that's not true. Right? All these different lies, he can go and talk to all these black gatekeepers and lie about, but black folks are not falling for the trick anymore. Right? And that's why I'm so proud of the reparation family who said no tangibles, no vote. And it seems like that is really coming true. And I think we're going to send a real message to these folks on tomorrow. So there's going to be no surprise. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Right? The Republicans are going to sweep across the country. Right? You know, folks can feel how they want to feel about Republicans, but the Democrats have really dropped the ball. And they have lost a lot of confidence from their base of voters. And so Joe Biden has ruined the opportunity that they had. A lot of folks who voted for Biden now have voters' remorse, right? And not saying that they're going to vote Republican, but a lot of people have decided to sit out, right? I don't think Stacey Abrams is going to pull it out, right? Even though black voter turnout in Georgia has increased. Now, that's interesting. But across the country, black voter turnout is down. I believe that Herschel Walker will pull it out.
Hey, Clarence, 1 second, not to cut you off. I'm going to let you get right back. But DJ,
yes, sir.
Are you there, DJ?
What's up, everybody? Who's got reparations?
Hey, I want you to hold it down for me for about 5-10 minutes. I got to take an important call, okay?
For sure. Go ahead, brother.
All right.
Thank you, brother. But I'm going to land the plane in just a second. But I just want to say that I'm proud of black folks for standing on something, right? For valuing our vote, right? The folks aren't going to treat us well. The folks aren't going to respect us. The folks aren't going to give us what it is that you promised us or what we have demanded and asked for. And we're going to hold our vote. And it's just going to be an ugly day for Democrats on tomorrow. But I think it's a victorious day for black folks to show that we have power and our vote is serious and we're not playing games anymore. And I land the plane.
Sure on that, brother. Appreciate that. So I just want to clarify and reiterate what you said. So with the no tangibles, no vote situation, I don't want our peoples to get confused surrounding that message, because some will not get up to go vote for at least the city dog catcher or whatever ordinance that may be in your local city, town, state, Providence, stuff like that, your county. So there are other things to vote for. I want us to always keep that in mind. There'll be things on your pre-ballot that'll say, hey, do you want some of your tax money to go to veterans? Of course, they protect the country, but not, right? So those are the type of things you got to think about too as well. So don't think just because we're not getting reparations that there is nothing to vote for as well. You don't have to go vote for a person, that's the personal thing. But worst case scenario, still go in there, stand in line, and vote for yourself. Put down things like reparations. I understand the vote down ballot may not mean nothing depending on where your state is at. Also, when you're writing things like yourself, another candidate's reparations, black agenda, black hate crime bill, when you write in those things, keep in mind you have to study your state too as well. Your state may not be accepting of writing ballots or whatever the case be. So again, still get your tail up tomorrow. Go vote, because you don't know what the question is they'll have inside of these voting booths. It might be something that, hey, yeah, we about to raise your tax guy, your property mortgage, your 50%. You ain't even know because you ain't gonna go vote. And when you get your tax bill in the mail, you're like, yo, what the hell? What the F? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm about to get the strap, son. Get the strap. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to rob us. You know what I'm saying? But hold up a minute. It's already been voted on. So now you're stuck paying an extra 50% bill when all you had to do is go get up and look and vote. You know what I'm saying? Or at least look at the preview ballot that they send in the mail that most of us just look at it, oh, fuck this shit, rip it up, throw it in the trash. not realizing the shit in there. Like, hey, we about to legalize homegrown weed, but we letting the people decide on it. Hell yeah, I'm there to vote for that shit. That way now I gotta go to the dispensary. I ain't even gotta go to the block no more if I so choose to. I could grow this shit at home. But I'm gonna start rambling, let other folks get in there. Hey, what's up? I don't know where to hand up first. Hey, Reginald, I don't know if you want the secret sister to go or whoever want to go, but go ahead and talk though. Go ahead and talk. Whoever want to talk.
Okay, yeah. So, peace, like our revelation.
Peace, brother. You're both kind of janky. I think you're in the matrix already.
Okay, what about now?
Nah, yeah, that thing jankied up, bro.
Okay, I'll go down and come back up.
Yeah, you might have to drop down, come back up. Secret sister, What's up, Black Native? What's up, Professor? What's up, brother? Hey, brother McCool, sorry to hear about your peoples, brother. You don't understand real talk. Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
For sure. Anything I can do from a distance, let me know, all right?
No doubt, definitely, man. Just stay on these race soldiers next, man. Wherever you at, where everybody at, just watch your back, because these niggas ain't playing.
For sure on that, brother. For sure on that. Well, go ahead, Secret Sister.
Hey, brother, I didn't hear what happened, and I don't need to. All I know is you got my support in whatever it is, and if they, as soon as you said race soldier, I pretty much kind of pictured what it is, and I apologize for your loss. Rest in power to whoever they have now become an ancestor, and you got to remember, now they're an ancestor with anger. See, when they take out these new, when they shoot us down like that, they think they're just shooting us down and get rid of us. No, you're just letting the ancestral that get larger, and we're getting stronger. And with that, I do want to say that in Pennsylvania, let's talk about Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, of course, everybody wants Pennsylvania. Everybody know that, right? It's like the 6 states that is at the center of all this political universe. I do believe it's like Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Nevada. I do believe, right? Well, I will be glad. I love saying that the black outcome of the early votes, you wouldn't believe, 30.2%. That's how much it went. It's gone. And you know how many elderly said, I'm not getting out my bed. So we're even getting to the elderly. And normally they're stuck in their, look, I'm talking like I'm not, but they're normally stuck in their way. You know what I mean? I'm going to vote. They are even seeing it through their grandchildren and their children that are getting slain. We're tired. I think they finally are seeing we're tired. We're not playing this bullshit no more. And it's over. We have battled long enough. Now we're ready to war. However it is. Now, whether it be through politics or through just staying away, whatever it is. Pulling back our money, spending it with each other. Pull your money back. I suggest on a Ratasasi, the 24th, I suggest that whole week. So that means the week before, go shop and do whatever you need, fill your gas tank up, because that whole week or that 3 days, nobody, no black person gives money nowhere, except with each other, but nowhere. And let's let them see what it's like when you disrespect and disregard your purchasing power. Because without us, not only did we build it, we are sustaining it. We are the purchaser. So you want to keep doing that? I got one better for you. I'm pulling my money back. Because me, I've been pulled mine back. I don't use a bank. I have places in my home and places that I hide my money. I don't do that. No. You won't hold my money. And I stand behind, even though Kanye did what he did, our people are broken. So we got to forgive our people anytime they do something stupid. Some of them are still mentally enslaved. We have to understand that. Some, we just got to excuse. Some get money and don't know how to act. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to learn how to adapt to our mentally unstable people. So we have to do that. I do believe, what it say? And he says he delivered for Black America. Well, yesterday I watched a gentleman, and I know he didn't. I know Biden didn't say this again. Oh, no, he didn't. I want to smack that old man. But let me tell you, what's the vice president? Kamala, whoever.
Kamala, or whatever they want to call her.
Kamala.
Yeah.
Kamala. Okay. Well, her, right? Well, she was up there in Chicago, of all places. She wanted Chicago to vote for her and Biden. This man outed them so bad. He had them on. I'm gonna try to find that video so I can give it to you. I'm gonna put it on here. He had them so embarrassed. Had every police there. He said, "Where is all this turnout and when we're killing each other? Where is all this when y'all could be putting some trade schools together? Where is all this money coming from? My pocket?" Like, he was really mad. This is what I'm paying for? Y'all protecting somebody I don't even like. Which he has a good point. Like, they're just taking our money and doing whatever. So we're going to pull our money back. So with that being said, I'm getting ready to land my plane, but I want to make a quick announcement. I will no longer be on Twitter after today. This will be the end of Secret Sister. I will be done. Those who have my number, I trust you enough, and we will continue talking. We will continue getting things together, hopefully. But this, when you try to help your people and your people turn on you, you just gotta walk away. I don't hate no one. I feel bad for my people. So I'm just gonna walk away, and hopefully I can come up with an idea to fix them. But other than that, I will talk to those behind the scenes. Other than that, I love you all. It was an experience. Trust me, it was an experience. But I love you all. And hopefully I will see you one day. Bye-bye.
All right, sister. I'm sorry to see you go, but hopefully, like you say, me and DJ, we can holler at you on the back channel and everything else. So I hope everything is well with you. Hope to see you over on social. I know you have a profile on social, so if you're not here on Twitter, then hopefully we can see you over there on social. Original, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let you go ahead real quick, and then I want to go ahead and touch on this other topic for the night about environmental racism. So go ahead, bro.
Okay.
Newstoter, real quick. That's exactly where I'm gonna be. Over there.
Okay.
That's where I'm gonna be. I ain't gonna be here, but I'm gonna be where my people is.
No problem, sister.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, this environmental racism issue is real. Back during the Olympics, although I was living in California at the time, but back in the comments, but there was
I think we losing you, like you coming in and out. Yeah, original, you coming in 1 minute we hear you, and then the next minute, like you going blank. You there?
Yeah, his phone been acting up since you dropped down, came back up. So
yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear
it
you.
sound much better.
Okay. Yeah,
this article, it says environmental racism and economic injustice in Olympic Atlanta. So what they wanted to do when the Olympics came to Atlanta, there was this sister. She's an ancestor now. Her name is Emma Darnell, and her slogan was Emma Darnell, give them hell. She was a rioter, and what they wanted to do was all the trash that they was collecting around the city. They wanted to dump all that crap over here on the black side of town. And Emma Darnell said, "Oh hell no, y'all ain't bringing that shit over here." She told them, "You gonna find somewhere else to put that because it's not coming over here." And this is the side of town that she lived on. See, unlike people like Agent Al Sharpton, who is nothing but a straight up agent. Let's be real about that. And people like Big Swole, y'all know it, Stacey Abrams, and old Raphael. They would, people like that would just go ahead and let them dump it. They wouldn't say anything. They would mention it to us and say, "Well, listen, we need y'all to start raising hell about this issue because this is what they're trying to do." No, just like what Agent Al Sharpton did today with Jim Crow Joe, he's going along saying that Jim Crow Joe has done something for us, and he has not. That is a lie. And so this is why we have to make that. This is why it's important that we have new black media, because the old folks in black media, they are not on our side. They are against us. And so I think people need to understand that and see. And also too, how many? I don't know if you ever heard of this. It's called African Blood. You have to type it in like this so it'll come up. It's called African Blood Sibling: The Story of Al Sharpton. And it documents how Al Sharpton turned against Attorney Al Tomatic when they was doing things up there in New York. And it was around that what was the little brother name that was killed when I think it was in Bensonhurst or somewhere where they went to buy a car and these Italian folks jumped on it and killed it. Yusef Hawkins, I think that's what it was. And so Attorney Maddox wanted to give money. He wanted to sue them. He said, "I want the name of everyone that killed this black child." But Al Sharpton convinced the father. They was in a meeting. Al Sharpton convinced the father to take a payoff versus getting justice. And I heard Attorney Maddox cite this on a talk show, and everything that's in this article was basically verbatim what Attorney Al Tomatic said that Al Sharpton did. And what gets me is that how can black folks, people saw when Al Sharpton, he sat up there and he was going to allow drugs to be sold in the black community. He was going to get a $3,500 kickback per kilo that was sold. And some black folks are still following this nutcase. Some of the stuff that's happened, some of the stuff that's going on is like it's the stupid people in our group that are allowing this to happen. And so I just want to say that because, this thing is, this issue is real because just like, today Newstoter, you posted something that was stating that, what's her name? Keisha Lance Bottom, the former mayor of Atlanta. She was trying to say that the reason black men are not voting is because we are being bombarded with misinformation. So I responded to it by saying, no, it's not us that's being bombarded with misinformation. See, I kept a JPEG of her platform when she ran for mayor, and she specifically stated what, just like all these other black candidates would do. She specifically stated what she would do for basically it's the gay white community because if you black, you just black, and they're not going to do a damn thing for you. And I cited whatever it is I cited, and then I put that image up there saying it's not about we're getting misinformation, we're not being represented. And see, this is the bag of tricks they're trying to play, but they forget. We are of the technology age, and we're not buying the lie that they are promoting to us. And so, and then what I also did, I sent it to her Twitter as well, hoping that other people may see it. And see, these are some of the tactics we're going to have to use because we're going to have to expose these people as liars and being anti-black when it comes to representing us. Because if you look at them, none of them have a problem promoting things for the illegal aliens or anybody. But when you get them, when you ask them for us, it's always, if you look at the majority of black candidate platform, they will either have a generic platform, which is not going to, it doesn't represent us, or they would be specific as to what they would do for other groups. But anything pertaining to black folks, it has to do with the criminal justice reform or anything like that. And then they want to try to say that is a black agenda, or they'll try to say money for HBCUs, or they'll say money for senior. We're gonna do this for seniors and children. No, we have more than seniors and children. Okay, and so this is the scam that they've been running on us. And so now that it has come home, now that we up on game as to what's going on, they don't know what to do. And I'm gonna land with that and let you go ahead with your article.
All right, brother. I just want to go ahead and touch up on this article real quick. It's from the Washington Post, curator on Newstoter. It says Gordon Plaza was sold as a dream for black home buyers. It was a toxic nightmare. So I'm gonna just touch up on this article. It's kind of lengthy. I'm not sure if I want to read the entire article, but it's a pretty good article as well too, and it just lets you know the state of affairs and just how black people have been just screwed over so much in this country. 28 years ago, and this is in New Orleans, the story, it takes place in New Orleans, says 28 years ago have gone by, but Joshua Allen Akeem still remembers a knock at the door. Strangers from the Environmental Protection Agency walked into his house and spoke to his mom. She buried her face in her hands. Please tell me this is not true, he recalled her saying over and over and over again. It was true. Viola Allen's dream home sits atop a nightmare. The city of New Orleans built 67 ranch-style houses on the sprawling former garbage dump in the late 1970s without saying a word to the black, mostly first-time homebuyers, who were encouraged to move there by city officials. Under the untreated soil, where the new residents planted fruit trees, grew flower gardens, and watched their children play in the dirt, were 149 toxic contaminants. 49 of them linked to cancer, according to an analysis by Environmental Protection Agency. The saga of 57 families living on the former Agriculture Street landfill in the Garden Plaza housing subdivision is considered by many to be one of the worst examples of environmental injustice in the United States. The boundaries of the old landfill were certified as a Superfund site in 1994, and now nearly 3 decades after residents finally learned they were living on deadly ground, government officials have refused their demand to be relocated from homes that lost their appeal and nearly all their value. The properties were almost impossible to sell because of the contamination, said Akeem, who was 11 when EPA officials and environmental experts visited his mom that day in 1993. Even more, lawyers and advocates for the homeowners say is that after residents were originally awarded $90 million state court judgment against the city, which approved the construction, officials have refused to pay. The Housing Authority, which funded the development with federal dollars, and the public school system, which built an elementary school at the site well after contamination was revealed, have also refused to pay their share of damages. An obscure Louisiana law shields municipalities from being forced to pay damages, attorneys said. Earlier this month, a judge reaffirmed a 2006 court decision, but agreed with an appellate court's decision to lower the damages, awarding $75 million to a class of 5,000 plaintiffs. Lawyers said they doubt that the plaintiffs will ever see a dime. This is a living example for the need of environmental justice, and it screams out as an example of environmental racism, says Suzette Bergernes, the lead attorney for the class. The residents of the Agriculture State landfill were hardworking, honest folks who worked multiple jobs trying to attain the American dream of home ownership, only to suffer an American nightmare when the very soil under their homes would literally start to kill them. DJ, we got somebody try. Oh, that's Ray trying to come in. Go ahead and let Ray. I went ahead and improve Ray. Let Ray come in and make him a co-host. Real quick. I'm gonna get back to the story, y'all. Let me go ahead and put Ray up here as a co-host. It's yet another challenge under the Biden administration. Now they're going to try to give Joe Biden props and stuff like here, but it's yet another challenge that the Biden administration has taken on this bid to right historic wrongs done to underprivileged communities disproportionately burdened by pollution. The solution for Gordon Plaza is far more difficult than the success the administration has achieved so far. Last May, the administration shut down an error prone oil and gas refinery in the U.S. Virgin Islands that dumped oil on people of color. The same month, the administration influenced the city of Chicago to conduct a lengthy environmental impact assessment as officials mulled whether to allow an industrial metal scrapyard to operate in a Mexican American area already teeming with industrial pollution sites. The permit was denied in February. During his Journey to Justice tour in November, EPA Administrator Michael Reagan visited Gordon Plaza and spoke with homeowners. They reminded him that his agency was a major part of the problem. Before the EPA warned Allen and her neighbors that the ground where they raised their family was toxic, it spent 9 years telling them that it was safe. Between 1986 and 1993, the EPA reassessed how it categorized toxicity of a number of contaminants and finally deemed that the Agriculture Street landfill site was unsafe. A federal and local official stood by. Cancer became a fact of life for people there. The Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry discovered a breast cancer cluster and reported that black women in the Agriculture Street landfill census tract had a 57% excess risk of breast cancer over 9 years, ending in 1997. More recently, a 2019 report by the Louisiana Tumor Registry found that the census tract where Gordon Plaza sits had the second highest consistent cancer rate in Louisiana. It is nearly impossible to link cancer to a toxic substance, so experts could not be definitive about the risk, but residents were terrified. Everybody knows somebody in the neighborhood who has cancer and has died from cancer, said Akeem, who moved away from the area decades ago when he joined the military. He never moved back. Arsenic and playgrounds. Gordon Plaza was a beacon for black people who dreamed of owning a home. Located in a part of New Orleans with a come hither name, Desire, and a curvy road called Abundance in the upper Ninth Ward, it dripped with big, easy charm. Black people had been excluded from the best neighborhoods by racist housing covenants and redlining and legal racial separation, but this middle class housing was built especially for them. As African Americans began to ascend in population and voting power, the city's white mayor, Victor Sherrill, entered into a cooperative agreement with the White Run Housing Authority in 1967 to plan the new development. Windpress Park Apartments and Townhomes, a senior living facility, Gordon Plaza, and a shopping center were completed in the early 1980s. New Orleans had its first black mayor, Ernest Nathan Dutch Morrill. Morrill encouraged his black constituents, some of whom worked in his own administration, to buy into the dream. City officials were silent about the bleak history of the 95-acre site selected for construction, but within a few years, the tragic reality became the talk of New Orleans. Shannon Rainey realized something was wrong in the early 1990s as she dug a hole behind her house to plant a tree. Her shovel struck a solid object. I found a canister in my yard, and it just had a skeleton head on it along with the X, said Rainey, who worked in the city administrative office under Morrow and had inside information about the sale of homes in Gordon Plaza. She knew the X stood for crossbones. Now I'm breathing toxins every day, she said. Nate Parker realized something was wrong when he walked out his front door in the early 1990s and saw a white vapor rising from the soil. In the morning, my dad would walk and he saw smoke coming off the ground, said his daughter, Ellen Parker Gavin. Parker was a do-right kind of father who coveted home ownership as a financial legacy for his family, Gavin said. With a shopping center and plans for an elementary school, Parker and other residents felt they had no reason to ever leave their all-inclusive community. Akeem's voice cracked as he talked about his adoptive mother's reaction after she learned of the contamination and how news altered their lives. She never regrouped, he said. She always came to us apologizing. She was like, I'm killing my kids. Akeem was ordered to stop playing in the yard, and his mom had a new daily chore, wiping away household dust with bleach. A woman who once focused on positive became an angry crusader. She dragged Akeem to meetings where environmentalists and health consultants warned residents of the possible effects of living on a land saturated with poison, neurological disorder, memory loss, stomach ailments, and more, Akeem said. Studies have linked arsenic toxicity to Alzheimer's disease. My mom has dementia, the same thing the EPA told them that they could possibly get, he said. Then came the tears. She doesn't know who I am. She lives in that same house because she has nowhere else to go. Jesse Perkins, born and raised in Desire Housing Projects, leaped at the chance to buy his first home. My mother had never ever had a home that she could actually call her own, said Perkins, a retired manager for the city sewage and water board. So that was everything. I worked so hard, so long, so many hours, days, and nights. Strenuous work, sacrificing and saving my dollars. The family planted and ate from a vegetable garden one day. An environmental activists warned him of the danger. I knew at that point in time we can't grow tomatoes here, Perkins said. Even Beverly Wright, a professor and environmental expert, was unaware. While she didn't live at the site, her husband had a pest control contract there. I remember him coming home and he would say, Bev, that place is a dump, said Wright, founder and executive director of the Deep South Center Environmental Justice in New Orleans. One day she noticed that his face had broken out on his forehead with little blisters and stuff, she said. Even then, we did not put it together. The swampy 95-acre Agriculture Street landfill was one of the city's main resting places for residential and industrial waste. From 1909 until it closed 48 years later, fires constantly erupted. The site was reopened for a year in 1965 to accommodate debris from Hurricane Betsy up to 300 truckloads per day. After that dump was closed, burned, covered with a layer of the city's incinerator ash, and grinding into the earth. When the homes were built, the foundations were poured onto land with elevated levels of lead and arsenic that can cause cancer, heart problems, reduce lung function, and developmental problems in children, along with other health disorders. City officials claim to have no idea about the extent of the contamination, but after two class action lawsuits were filed in 1993 and city workers were called to testify for a trial that finally began 12 years later, the depth of their knowledge was revealed. Thousands of people said they were harmed. Homeowners, cancer patients, and children formed one class. Students, teachers, administrators at Bolton Elementary School, which the Orleans Parish School built even after consultants explicitly told them the land was dangerous, formed the other. There were classes joined by Civil District Judge Nadine Ramsey. Ramsey did not buy the city officials Ramsey did not buy that city officials were unaware of the contamination. In fact, city officials testified that the soil was tested, she wrote. As a result, the city required the developer of Gordon Plaza to add topsoil before constructing the homes, wrote Ramsey. The judge ordered the city to turn over the findings. The city has never produced a copy of the Gordon Plaza soil testing and has not explained why, she wrote. Before the school board started constructing a school on land it purchased in 1975, its members knew that testing revealed incurable chemical contamination. At a meeting in 1985, environmental consultants hired by the board advised members that the site may pose an unacceptable risk of exposure to construction crews, school children, and staff, according to court records. They recommended removing 3 feet of the soil at the site and replacing it with at least 2 feet of fresh topsoil. They also recommended installing 6 to 12-inch clay barrier to separate the topsoil and contaminated soil, and said testing should be routine. During construction, the clay barrier was eliminated to cut costs. When 900 students entered Moulton Elementary in 1965, they lacked protection. So it's much longer, y'all. I think everybody sees a point of it. Like this whole area here was just devastated by the actual impact of what actually went on in this area right here. And like I said, we've been covering Jackson. We talk about Flint occasionally and stuff like that, but everybody kind of gets an idea and sees exactly, these people knew firsthand of this site. They should have never actually even built homes there. It was nothing but contamination. You had industrial waste and everything else. It was unsafe. It should have remained a landfill or just stayed barren, but instead they built schools there. They built a community there and everything else. And because of it, people just catching absolute hell with their health conditions. Go ahead, Ray.
I came into this space a little late. I just wanted to give you a heads up. You know, I didn't get no notification for the space, right? You know, normally I try to be on time, help you out. I didn't get no notification. I was just gonna ask, have you already touched on Biden saying that he delivered for Black America?
Yeah, I touched on it, but you can mention on it because Biden was hanging out with Al Sharpton, so he was being interviewed by Al Sharpton, and he told Al Sharpton that Al Sharpton took it to he took it to heart. I guess he was like, yeah, well, it don't take much to get Al on your side, anyways, if you're a Democrat. But yeah, I couldn't remember if I sent you the notification or not, man. That's a crazy thing when I send out the DMs and stuff. Like a lot of my people that I actually send it to or a note, a lot of times that's going to come to the space, it doesn't really pop up. Like sometimes it's people that may be following me, but I don't really even know like that. And they pop it up like when I send out the DM. So you know how crazy this social media stuff is here too, man.
Yeah, obviously we talk on the back channel. I know you got some things going on, so I thought, I just wouldn't have the space tonight. But I'm gonna touch on just a little bit. How can he say delivered on Black America when he can't point to exactly what he did? That's my thing. I actually got into a debate yesterday with my cousin, diehard Democrat. I was spoken to this. Me and DJ, we spoke about this before. We have those family members that are vote blue no matter who. And like DJ said, I think he said his sister was gonna vote blue till the day she died. So I actually had to sit down with my cousin. And I asked, I was like, so, okay, well, what if you want me to vote? What are we voting for? And to this day, she still has not told me anything. The only thing, and I swear to God, what she told me was that she told me about, well, didn't the Democrats pass No Child Left Behind? I was like, so you telling me I got to be failing in school in order for me to be able to get something out of the Democrats? And she was quiet. So yeah, I believe this going to be very interesting, especially with what is it tomorrow? It's tomorrow election day and all this other stuff. And I'm hearing that Herschel Walker's winning. I'm hearing that Raphael Warnock is losing right now and stuff. So it's gonna be very interesting. Of course, they're blaming the black male. They're saying that we ain't turning out. But turn out for what? The hell we gonna turn out for? Especially if we're not getting anything. But I'm gonna land there. Oh, and Stacey Abrams, I heard she's behind too in her poll. But obviously we gotta see tomorrow.
Yeah, you already know Stacey Abrams was behind and whatnot too. So yeah, we definitely pretty much already know that. And Herschel Walker, we pretty much heard that was nip and tuck and this and that or whatever. So yeah, man, it's pretty much one of those things. I wanted just to touch up on the environmental racism, man, thing, just for a simple fact that we're constantly hearing about this going on. It's not really, I feel like, getting enough media coverage. So I wanted to go ahead and just touch on this topic because, like I said, I feel there's so many different areas in the country where our people are suffering. There's so many unknown stories. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure we go to every state, every urban area, whatever, where you have a heavy concentration of black people, you'll find things just of this nature right here. Maybe not as bad as this here, where you pretty much putting people homes on a damn wasteland or whatever like that. But these with the poles and stuff, with the lighting, electricity, and things of that nature, man, you just really don't know, from the tap water to the air we're breathing. So I think we really, as a people, we really need to kind of start keeping the focus on this right here. I know it's not a popular issue, but it's something that needs to be addressed as well. Go ahead, Brother McCool.
No, also.
What'd you say, Ray? I'm sorry.
No, my bad. Go ahead, brother. Before I go after you.
You hit the 100 on the plan and shit. But I just wanted to, elaborate on what you were saying too, Toda. Right. They set up the grid in such a way where, they do be trapping it, man. Almost remind me of how they did those deserts over in Cali. You know how they was doing all those radiation and all those practices they was doing over there with radiation. I mean, a lot of people don't know that John Wayne and all his people died from radiation poison, man. Over there in the desert,
Same shit they doing to the inner cities of all these, all the hoods, man. Chicago, whether it be Chicago, Florida, Baltimore, DC, Houston, man, they flooding our urban neighborhoods because, they want Operation Get Back, Take Back. That's what it look like, and that's what it feel like.
Oh yeah, that's real talk. Go ahead, Ray. You got it. You there, Ray?
Sorry about that. Can y'all hear me? Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, he's cool.
All right, but yeah, actually, you brought up a very good point. This is something that's very popular to talk about, but it's definitely something that's needed to be talked about because these people attack us from all angles. Like, obviously, Flint has dirty water, and now Jackson, Mississippi. I mean, this stuff isn't, we shouldn't be surprised at this. We can't put nothing past them. And that's really, the crux of everything I wanted to say. Um, we need to definitely keep our eyes peeled. This stuff is going on with Kyrie and all this other stuff. That's just, distraction. Us not having clean water and fertile land to be able to grow our own crops and have good drinking water. That's something that's definitely we need to keep our eyes peeled on our land there.
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead, DJ. And we're not going to keep the space open much longer, y'all, because tomorrow night we're going to do election night results, winner, losers, and stuff like that. So I want everybody to come in. Everybody that's in your local area too, man. Let us know exactly what's going on in your area with some of the results. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna be looking at this thing while it's live and stuff online. So we want to go ahead and be like letting everybody know the results and stuff from state to state and city to city, the election, everything that's going on. So tomorrow night we're gonna have the Newstoter. We're gonna have us an election night midterm space. So y'all be ready to come through. Let us know what's going on out there in Baltimore and Florida, California, every place, man. Go ahead and just be letting us know what's going on and whatnot, because we plan on discussing that tomorrow night and whatnot. So y'all definitely come through.
Hey, dude, will you do me a favor? Will you make sure you text me?
Oh yeah. I would definitely do that.
Like I said, I'm not getting notifications.
And not only that, Ray, because I gotta go ahead and start back DMing you, because like I say, the names don't pop up, and I just see names and stuff like that, and like some of the names I'm like, damn, I don't really know these people. like I'm like, so a lot of my usuals and stuff, like you say, man. So I'll definitely text you or whatever. We're gonna hold it for 8:00 tomorrow, so I'll let you just know that right now. So 8:00.
Y'all been on today?
We came on at 8.
I'm tripping. So y'all only been on 11 minutes?
No, we came on at 8. No, it's 9. Remember the time. Yeah.
It caught me twice today, right? It caught me twice today. Within the hour of the same thing. It happened once, and then I went about my business, and it happened again. I said, damn, I got to remember that the time went back.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all, so real quick. So my daughter this morning, I forgot to change her clock. So when I got up this morning,
only take one clock ain't changed, and it's over, yo.
I changed 1 o'clock, and I wake up, I'm freaking out because I can't find her. I'm looking out through the house. I'm like, that's my baby. This girl standing outside in the dark. She's like I know something was wrong, but the clock said it was, 6:20, so I got up. But yeah, let me make sure I take care of that now.
Yeah, definitely go ahead and set that clock, bro. Definitely go ahead and get that clock ready. But just so you know, we will be on 8:00. If I have to push it back to 8:30 or something, I'll do that. But I'm definitely setting it for 8:00. I want to go ahead. I want to get those results. So everybody around the way, you know what I'm saying? DJ, let's go ahead and have CNN on or whatever, so we can actually, know what I'm saying, while the people in the space, we can let them know about the results and stuff as well too. Okay.
Right. Hey, hopefully I ain't got to go to work on Wednesday because I'll be up all night with the election just to see the end results. But before we talk about that, hey, Ray, that's why I keep trying to emphasize to y'all got to make sure y'all keep your applications updated. Twitter up today. You feel what I'm saying? So I know you got an iPhone, I got an Android, but for the most part, they release the application updates for both platforms usually at the same time. Maybe 24-hour difference, 48-hour difference. But you got to get in the groove. Just like you put your shoes on in the morning, step out the door. When I'm eating breakfast, let me update these applications. You feel what I'm saying? Let me update my phone. Make sure everything is working smooth for the day. Other thing is, too, when you go out during the day, you're bouncing around these different cellular towers. You're going from Tallahassee to Miami. You feel what I'm saying? Miami to Fort Lauderdale. You know what I mean? So you're bouncing around all these different towers. So whatever town or city or county or state you was in last, right before you pulled up to your house, that's where your cell phone is really at, the signal. You feel what I'm saying? So now if you do something just as simple as restart your phone, and when it come up, you put your passcode, your fingerprint in or whatever the case be, and just let your phone sit for a minute. so that way it can catch up with the network of the nearest cell tower. You know what I'm saying? Nearest cell tower. And with that being said, too, you know, when you on this Twitter space, make sure you on the Wi-Fi, yo, because this shit eats the network. You know, Wi-Fi, this thing is doing something other than just letting us talk up here. This is why we got to get the fuck off here. Now, with that being said, get your butt up to social, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't up there yet. You know what I'm saying, right? So come on up, because I'm telling you, Twitter, they already got these jokers at the job, whistleblowers, all this other shit, Elon firing niggas. It's over, yo. And plus, we got our own shit, so we ain't even got to worry about what's flying over here. We can really be out. Straight mass exodus, bro. You know what I'm saying? So now, as far as with the topic in the room, the environmental racism, hey, man, I want everybody, because I ain't got time to put it in anything, I'm outside. I want everybody to go on your Google or whatever search engine, you know what I mean, and look up the documentary Cooked. It's called Cooked. Cooked by Zip Code, I think it's called. Cooked by Zip Code. So if you never saw that,
DJ, that's right.
That motherfucking video will put you in the mix of what we talking about right now. A straight visual representation of how they put our elders and ancestors into these hot zones on purpose. It's a reason why ain't no trees in the hood. Not because niggas refuse to plant them. It's because this shit is a hotbed. This is why niggas dying from asthma, heat-related issues, allergies, all this other shit. They don't even know why. Year to year, simple dumb shit taking niggas out, man. This shit is fucked up, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Crazy, bro. Was crazy, and I don't even mean to cut you off, but
go ahead, bro.
Is those, look, I posted like 2 videos in Jumbotron, but when you go to those videos and you actually go to my page, bro, around the nursing home where I was doing readings at, bro, they got so many goddamn 5G towers right around these old folks' home. You ain't lying, bro. They cooking our elders, man.
Right.
They cooking them.
Right.
Real talk, they cooking us, man.
Right.
So it's dangerous. We really, I mean, when we talk about repair, man, it's almost like we gotta have our own army, because when it really come down to it, to taking it, bro, we gonna have to enforce. Because these motherfuckers ain't playing games. They're cooking us from the inside out. Just like DJ said, man, around up here in Baltimore, I swear to goodness, man, I guarantee I can almost bet I bet a contracted check that you can't find one nursing home without a goddamn cell phone or 5G.
Real talk, brother McCool. I think we lost you for a second there, bro.
Oh, my fault. I was just saying. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I was just saying, man, up here in Baltimore, I guarantee you, it's not one old folks home you can't find up here without a cell phone or a 5G tower next to it, man. They cooking us on purpose.
That's what's up, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead, y'all, for the night, and we're gonna go ahead and just wrap it down or whatever. Like I say, tomorrow we're gonna have the official. We're gonna be doing an official midterm election results, so everybody come through and just know what I'm saying. Hang out with us. Let us know the results in your city, your state, your town as well too. We're gonna have DJ. We're gonna have CNN or one of them on, so we can actually hear the results and let everybody know what's going on as well too. And we're gonna speak on that as well. So, with that said, y'all, we're going to go ahead and close the space out for the night, and we will be back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to see who the winners and losers are. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create that space right now and tweet it out for tomorrow. So everybody, y'all be good, and we're going to go ahead and get up with y'all tomorrow. So I appreciate everybody coming into the space as always, and we're going to go ahead and holler at you guys tomorrow. So peace.